Are you guys up for some Malamar VMAX? Why not? Let's see it. Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Stabilize. I'm Mitch, and today I'm going to take a look at Malamar VMAX. This features the Rose engine, the engine to accelerate energy from the discard pile to your VMAX Pokemon. We've got Silvally-GX in this deck, we've got Malamar VMAX, we've got all sorts of good stuff, so we'll take a look at the list in just a second. If I could get my words together, that would be fantastic. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, that would be great. I love to wake up in the morning and see just that little number has ticked across, a couple of ticks, that would be fantastic. And like the video as well, so that more people can see it. More people see it, the more endorphins I get, and the more these weird random decks that we're working on at the moment gets dispersed into the world. I really appreciate seeing them. Let me know down below as well what kind of decks you'd like to see next, because I am more than open to suggestions. And yeah, we'll see how the deck works over on PTCGO. So this here is our deck, Malamar VMAX, and it's a pretty interesting one, so let's talk about it. We have a 3-3 line of the titular Malamar VMAX. The Max Jammer attack is the only attack that we have access to. Dark, colorless for 180 damage. That's a pretty solid attack. Reasonably, like that's good. I mean, it's a VMAX Pokemon, so you might expect a little bit more, and in fact there is. Max Jammer lets you look at your opponent's hand and find a card in there and shuffle it back into the deck. So we can control the amount of cards that our opponent has access to. We can get rid of supporters, we can get rid of energy, we can stop our opponent from being able to do what they want to do, because Max Jammer is such a cool attack. The problem that this card has always had is trying to power it up, and in the past we've tried to use like Dark Box engines, Weaviles, and Red and Blue, but now we have the new Rose supporter from Darkness Ablaze. This is a good card, it just hasn't had an opportunity to shine yet because everything else frankly is better. Rose lets you put two, I realise how silly that sounds by the way, this is a good card except it's not as good as the good card, so don't worry about it. This lets you attach 2 basic energy from your discard pile. I'm so excited about Rose, I can't quite get my words together, to one of your Pokemon VMAX. So we can accelerate 2 energy from the discard pile to one of our VMAX. Fantastic effect. Unfortunately, we also then need to discard our hand, but that's not too much of a problem because we have access to 1 copy of Rose Tower, which lets us draw some extra cards. But most importantly, we have access to Silvally-GX. There's 2 copies of this card in the deck. Disc Reload is why it's here. It lets you draw up to 5 cards in your hand. It's like 1 less than a Crobat, except every single turn. If you've got multiple Silvally in play, we've got a 3-2 line, means that we can potentially draw up to 10 cards a turn, although it is unlikely that that would be the case. But what this lets us do is it lets us have an unpowered Malamar VMAX on our bench. We can accelerate energy with Rose, discard our hand, and draw a fresh 5 with Silvally-GX. It's a pretty solid combination. Hopefully it works out. Let's look at the rest of the Pokemon now. We've got 1 copy of Assault Gate Hoopa and 1 copy of Evil Admonition Hoopa. Both of these cards, pretty solid 1 prize attackers. I feel like Assault Gate is better at the moment, but you know, it's always up for debate. Depends whether you think Eternatus is good or not. Those are our backup attackers, but it is worth noting that Silvally-GX also has Brave Buddies, which lets you deal 120 damage if you played a supporter during your turn. You will need to manually attach 2 energy, but sometimes it is worthwhile. The other Pokemon that we have are all support Pokemon. We've got Crobat V to draw cards, the Dedenne-GX to draw cards, and also a copy of Giratina with Dimension Breach to stop our opponent from utilizing special energy. If we can remove those special energies, then that will be bellissimo. The rest of the deck is all about getting that VMAX into play. We have access to 2 copies of Piers in this list to search for a Dark Pokemon and an Energy. Find ourselves a Capture Energy or 2. We have 2 of those. And we also have 10, count them, 10 Dark Energy. The best part about Piers is that you can find Dark Energy and then discard them to prepare yourself for a Rose in the next turn, which is always pretty good. We have 4 copies of Marnie as well to draw some cards. We have 2 copies of Mallow and Lana, and also 3 copies of Boss's Orders. It is worth noting there is no research in the list as of yet. That's a risk. but I think it's one that's worth taking because the rest of our deck is actually pretty good at drawing cards. So we don't necessarily need it. It is just worth realizing that research isn't going to be an out for you. You're not going to be able to find research and just get out of a dead hand. We also have one copy of Team Yell Grunt to try and frustrate our opponent. That can work nicely with Giratina. And we also have a copy of Dangerous Drill as well. We discard a dark Pokemon from our hand. We can get rid of a tool, special energy, or stadium as well. That's very, very useful. Finally, some Pokemon search for Quick Ball, for Pokemon communication. Quick Balls find your basics. Pokecom finds your stage 1s, that's your Silvally and your VMAX. We have 2 copies of Reset Stamp because we want to stamp our opponent down to a low hand size and then remove cards from their hand. Hopefully we can brick our opponents using this method. We have a Black Market which can reduce the amount of prizes that our opponent takes. And we've also got 2 copies of Air Balloon and 2 copies of Big Charm. There you go. There's a big old deck preview for you. This deck doesn't always work. It is a little bit sketchy at the moment, but when it does get the lock going, it is incredibly powerful. What I'll do is I'll jump over onto the ladder and we'll try and get some games with Malamar VMAX. Game 1. See how we go. I've played a couple of games with this deck. It has not worked super well yet, but there's potential. I had one game against the Center Scorch, which went... It was boring, frankly. It was a bit boring. We attacked a couple of times, and then it was like a back and forth of gusts. So I didn't want to show that. We've won the coin flip here, and we're going to go first. We want to get our basics out early. We've got a pretty... Well, I mean, it's a bad hand because we don't have a basic, but we had a pretty good hand here. If there was a basic, we would have been able to find all of the things that we need. Alas, it was not to be. We'll shuffle this in and try and get ourselves another start. This one, not quite as good. We've got access to a type Null, but we have Capture Energy, so we can find a Malamar if we'd like. I'm just wary that a bad top deck here locks us into a pretty awful hand. Like, Mallow Lana and Piers is a bit awkward. Marnie's okay, I can work with that. Let's grab a Malamar and play that down. I think that's pretty much all that we can do here. We're up against Inteleon, so we're going to see some energy denial, but luckily we have energy acceleration, so it's not too bad for us. I'm okay with this. We're getting Marnied as well, so our bad hand is no longer bad because it's going away. We'll just see 4 fresh cards. Hopefully they are acceptable. Piers, Boss, Pokemon Communication. This is going to be interesting, because depending on what we top deck, we could potentially find ourselves in a spot where it might be better to use Piers to find... Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We've got a Hoopa, so we can Pokecom that Hoopa away. I was going to say we could Piers away we could Pokecom away the thing that we Piersed for. There. Okay, Pokecom. Grab the Malamar VMAX. We can play that down. We can Piers. That will give us an Energy and a Crobat. Or... if we want to, we can com away the Crobat to find Silvally and attack with the type Null and the active to take a knockout. I think let's just risk it. I risked it. I shouldn't have risked it, but we did it. We found the Dedenne, which means that the Silvally can now come into play. We've got Brave Buddies as an attack now because we have used Piers. We can disc reload for a single extra card. Hopefully it's something good. The reset stamp's not great. Let's Brave Buddies. We'll take a knockout on this Suicune. And take our first prize of the game. Another Dark Energy. Great! I'm so excited about having a dead hand next turn. That's okay. Our Silvally now obviously can't draw cards. But we could potentially get lucky. We could get something like a Quick Ball to accelerate to put some of those energies in the bin. The best thing for us, though, is that our opponent isn't doing too much at the moment. They are... kind of floundering, as Inteleon tends to do in the early turns of a game. Air Balloon coming down for the Frostmoth, which is now on the bench, and we'll probably see some energies accelerated if I had to gather a bit of a guess. Here's a Quick Ball getting rid of a Professor's Research. Must then have another supporter that they want to use in hand. A Lapras, you say? Okay, so this is more of like an attacking Inteleon deck then. Got the Lapras and potentially the Lapras VMAX as an option. Air Balloon coming down, and a Marnie. So again, our dead hand being saved. That is good news for me. See what we can find here. This is an even worse hand, but at least we can get rid of some of the cards so that Disc Reload can draw some more. So this is not bad. I much prefer this to our previous hand. And with any luck, we can get a pretty good top deck and we'll be away. So hopefully everything works out for the best. At the moment, it's looking like it will be the case. We've not seen a VMAX just yet. Although, now that I've said it, I wouldn't be surprised if it just appears. Pokecom is getting rid of the Zigzagoon. This has to be for like a Crobat, surely. It's for an Inteleon VMAX. Like I said, it's about to appear. Best thing for us is that our opponent doesn't have access to any cards now, which is really, really good. The worst thing for us is that we only have Marnie as shuffle draw, so it's not good. We can... this is interesting. We'll Dangerous Drill. I think I'm going to get rid of one of these balloons. And let's get rid of the one on the Frostmoth. We will attach... I think I have to attach to the active, and then Brave... sorry, not Brave, but his Disc Reload. Maybe we can find a supporter. A Marnie. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm getting rid of it. Let's Dedenne. Hopefully we can find... If we can find a Rose, this is actually really, really good. We've got 2 Dark Energies in the bin from that. The Rose is the first card that we pick out. So what we could do here... Or... let's Piers. We don't need to do it now. We can Piers, grab Malamar, and capture energy. No, yes, no. Dark Energy. We'll play down the Malamar. I'm just like, I don't want to get rid of all of these supporters. I don't have to get rid of all of them this turn. I can play the Rose next turn. It's not a problem. Then we can Brave Buddies. We'll do 120 damage, which is a bit annoying, actually, because it leaves our opponent with 200 HP left, which sucks, because we only deal 180. But hey, it's okay. Hydro Snipe, they can't do anything. Now we can Rose, and we can start setting up our attacks with the VMAX, which would be fantastic. We could even Mallow Lana into... What do we do here? What I could do... Yeah, I could Mallow Lana into this Hoopa. Right, I could Mallow Lana into the Hoopa. So I Mallow Lana. Mitch. I hate to be this guy, but if you want to Mallow Lana into a Hoopa, you need to play down the Hoopa. Oh my god. Oh, wow. We're getting money as well. We took the money. Oh no. We've been saved with a Rose. At least that's something. Guys. Please help me. Comment your words of encouragement, because I am absolutely a disaster. Oh, I'm playing Pokemon so badly right now. It's okay. This is what real content creators don't show you. They don't show you the terrible games, or they just make obnoxious bad decisions. Oh, man. Oh, we've got games in the Omnipoke League coming up. I hope that I don't make any terrible decisions in that. I should probably start trying to get a little bit better at Pokemon cards, is what I should probably do. Oh boy, okay. Head in the game, Hydro Snipe. Cool. Removes the energy. We have Rose, so we're gonna be fine. We've got another VMAX as well, that's fantastic. We can attach to the active Rose, and away we go. We can accelerate 2 energy from the discard pile to our active. Our hand gets discarded. We can then use Silvally-GX to Disc Reload. We've got access to everything that we could possibly need. That's actually not a bad hand. We can let's get an energy with Training Court back. That seems fine. And then Max Jammer. We'll take a look at their hand of 2. We've got 2 cards to choose from. Let's see which one we're going to get rid of. Oh, Eldegoss. I reckon that's pretty good. I think they searched for that last turn. I don't want you to have that. I want you to have none of that. So hopefully you don't top deck into a supporter, because that'll be upsetting. Best case scenario for us here... Oh, they've got an energy off the top deck. There you go. Best case scenario for us here is they just use another Hydro Snipe. That would be great. We can just attach and move on from there. That's obviously what they are going to have to do because they have no other cards left in their hand. They remove the energy and we get cracking again. We will attach and then probably just go straight for the knockout. I don't think we really need to do too much more because we've got the boss's orders in hand for next turn. We can just Max Jam it, take 3 prizes here, remove the 1 card from our opponent's hand. They have Zigzagoon like multiple... Oh no, they had Zigzagoon and Eldegoss last turn. So we take 3 prizes there. We've got boss in hand. Our opponent has 0 cards left. As long as we, 1, don't get knocked out, and 2, still have access to boss, we should be good to go. They would need to top deck like an absolute god to try and get a win in this game. They would need to have like a research. It would need to be the best top deck of their life. Their absolute life. Oh, it's just 2 energy. Winners are grinners. We are going to stick with the boss, and that's a good thing, right? Is if you can get your opponent's hand down. He kind of did it for us in that one, but if you keep your opponent's hand down, the game is super easy. We Max Jammer the Dedenne-GX for the win. It didn't matter that we played like a dumb idiot. We managed to get the victory. I'll play a second one, and yeah, we'll see how we go from there. Game 2, we have a win streak, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking to maintain it if we can. We'll call the coin flip. We have lost it, which sucks. We'll probably end up going second, which is very, very unfortunate. Means that we won't have access to our basics turn 1. We're going to need to find another way to win here. We've got Type Null, Quick Ball. Okay, this is a good hand because we can Quick Ball for a Malamar and then capture energy onto it to find another Type Null if we'd like. Means that we've got a bit of flexibility around our active. If it gets knocked out, then it gets knocked out. That's not a problem. All right, what are we looking at here? We are looking at a face down card, a Zigzagoon that provides me with no meaningful information. A Salamence, that's something. Okay, so playing a Salamence deck, I don't think they can ever one-shot us, and they rely on finding a lot of energy. If this is a triple acceleration build, which the Lightning one I think in general is, then we should be able to try and lock this bad boy up with a couple of well-timed attacks. As long as we don't do anything stupid. That's for me. I'm looking at myself. Mitch, when you're watching this back, don't do anything stupid. It's gonna be so disappointing when I do a stupid thing. I'm gonna be so upset at myself. Anyway, yeah, we just need to control their hand. I'm living in the past. Silvally-GX is really good off of the top there. Okay, we can. Do I I think I Quick Ball Amani. Yeah. So I Quick Ball the Marnie, find access to the Malamar. I can then attach to the Malamar, which is really, really good. And then we will be able to find another Type Null, I think. That's probably the best thing to do. Because then if the Type Null in the active gets knocked out, it's not a problem. I want to hold this hand. I'm not going to lie, I want to hold this hand. There's like an argument that we should have Marnied there to try and get access to more energy in the discard pile so that we can Rose next turn. But I like this. I think this gives us the best chance to win this game. Just play slow, like slow and steady. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything dumb. Don't do anything inherently stupid. They're scooping up stuff. We've got a Zigzagoon, a switch into another Jirachi, so they're playing their hand down for us here. And at the moment, nothing really happening that's going to concern us. I like the research from them. Means that, oh, they're getting rid of a triple XL. Wow, okay. So they went looking for that Pokemon there to try and get the Salamence VMAX. That is so good for us. Losing an energy like that is such a tough time for this type of deck. And a Quick Ball doesn't scream success either. It's either a Dedenne or a Crobat. Getting rid of boss's orders is painful. This is a really good turn for us. Our opponent is just throwing away resources willy-nilly. There's a second boss, and an Eldegoss. That is so good. Just an attachment. They've got nothing else to do. Okay. Now we are in a really, really positive spot. I'm going to Pokecom away this Silvally. I'm going to grab myself Dedenne. Risky, I know, but this gives us a chance to get Rose off this turn. Please ignore my previous statement. It was an error of judgment that I made in times of stress. We've got a Silvally though, which is good. I could grab the Crobat actually. That'll get me access to 4 cards instead of 3 from Silvally. Though Silvally is better in the long run. Oh, let's go Crobat. Let's go Crobat. I can Pokecom away the Crobat and grab the Crobat back to get an extra card. So that's 5 versus 4. I don't really want to play the Marnie. I want to play the Rose, so I need all these cards here. I need to Rose in... So it means I need the VMAX and I need the Rose. Okay, well I didn't get either of them. That sucks. Do I like Quick Ball away an energy and then Marnie? Yeah, probably. Get double Dark in the bin. Let's grab another Malamar, I guess. We don't have any more support Pokemon that we can play down, so there's no point in doing that. Let's Marnie. See what we can find. Hopefully we slow our opponent down as well. We have a Silvally-GX, which is pretty cool. Whether we need it or not is another question. I don't know if I really want to play it down into the active. All for 1 card. Maybe I just play it onto the bench. I don't necessarily need to worry about the active type null at all. Draw 1 card. It wasn't a good one. I'm not surprised. And yeah, cool. So next turn we can at least quick ball away one of our Pokemon, attach the energy, and hopefully draw into the Malamar VMAX. But we have not done anything for quite a while. Quite a while. And that, frankly, is a concern. It's a big concern. It's a large concern. I don't like it, but it's the way that it's going to have to be, little darling. I don't know whether that's a regional reference or not. I don't like. Is that an Australian thing? Horses by Daryl Braithwaite. There's your legitimate no context question for the video. Do you know the song Horses by Daryl Braithwaite? Yes or no? No context needed. Just say it. Yes or no. Don't tell me what. I want to be able to look back and go, what the hell is that question? And then afterwards come back, listen to the video, and try and realize that I'm talking about a very, very niche Australian song. Alright, they've taken a knockout on the type null. We have an attachment. We can find Malamar VMAX. All we need to do is get ourselves a VMAX here. We are in such a good spot. We can do it. Oh, we could Giratina. We could get rid of that energy. I like this. I like this a lot. Let's Giratina. We'll get rid of the energy. That is a solid play. We can reset stamp them to 5. We're going to draw 3 cards here off of Silvally-GX. We're looking for a Pokecom or a VMAX. Hey, we managed to do it. And we've got access to Mallow and Lana as well. That's pretty good. I'm not going to make the same mistake again, playing that when I don't have to. And we've got a solid hand here. This is, oh my god, there's so many good cards. I think I'm going to get rid of the Scoop Up Net because that's the card that opens their hand up here. Because like if they scoop up a Giratina or a Zigzagoon, they can play down all of the cards that they've got and they can use them. But at the moment, most of the cards in their hand are pretty unusable. So they're going to attach an energy. They've got like Quick Ball, Pokecom, and Air Balloon. Okay, so that's it. They don't have a supporter. They've Air Ballooned into a Giratina, and now they're Quick Balling. So we know that the last card in their hand is a Pokemon Communication. This is good. They're doing the thinning for us here. Pokemon Communication away the Crobat. For a Crobat. Don't know why you're thinning your hand, sir. You didn't need to do that. Found the research in the end, though. And now that Crobat's in the bin as well. So that's good. It's good news. The research will find them 7 cards, but we've got potential access to some good stuff too, although our hand at the moment is a little bit lackluster. I'll tell you right now, a beautiful top deck would be another VMAX. If we get another VMAX, then our hand just opens up here. Boss's Orders is okay, because we can just gust and knock out the Salamence if we want to. I think that's probably the best play. Let's do that. We can gust, knock out the VMAX, and then we can use disc reload. No, I keep saying Brave Buddies. It's not Brave Buddies. Disc reload, knock out. We've got 3 prizes to come here, and we get to remove one of the cards from their hand. I don't like that money. I think that money is not... I don't want it. I don't want you to have access to it. I'm going to put that in the bin. You don't need it. Alright? You've got monies at home. Don't need them. Our prizes here are not particularly inspiring, although I will say the Pokecom does open up the opportunity to find another VMAX, and a Rose gives us access to a bunch of other cards, so I'm feeling pretty solid here. I think that a second VMAX without an attack from our opponent this turn means that we are pretty much in an undefeatable position. We have 340 HP, they cannot one-shot us, they cannot take 5 prizes without knocking out a VMAX, so they're gonna need to try and do something pretty big here. An Air Balloon is quite a useless card at the moment on a Jirachi. I don't think that's really required. A Tails Flip, so that's the turn. I am thinking that we are in a pretty good spot here. I'll get rid of the Type Null to find another VMAX. Then we can use, like, Dangerous Drill to get rid of one of those special energies. Let's do that. Get rid of this Hoopa. Get rid of this special powerful colorless. Then, do we Gust and Knockout, or do we just Rose? I'm Rosing. I like Rose. I think Rose is a good card. I want to use Rose. So let's play it down. We're going to disc reload. I didn't get that one wrong this time. Find 5 cards. And, oh, a concession. There you go. I didn't even know if we had enough Boss's Orders to win that one. So yet another slow descent into madness. I just realized my face is very bright because I had a big white screen up there. Another descent into madness on the Silvally. I am going to go and have a nap after that because, whew, very entertaining stuff. We got 2 wins. This deck is a little bit iffy. I'm not sure how I feel about the lack of research in it at the moment, but Rose was really good to power up our attackers. I think that Rose is going to be one of those cards that's not super great now, but might find its niche when we go into a purely sword and shield format. Thank you very much to Blake who helped me put this list together. Thank you very much to you specifically, Jeremy, for watching this video, and to everyone else who isn't Jeremy, obviously. If you have the inclination, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like so that the Overlords YouTube put this up on people's feeds so that we can see it a little bit more frequently. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and stick around because there's going to be plenty more from the Silvally tomorrow. There's a bunch of new decks that I've got in the back burner, so come and check them out when you get the chance. Thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.